Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Barb and you're at Barb Beauty, and today's video is going to be all about my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I have quite a few to talk about. I'm going to talk about why I like them, show you some swatches. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow my social media down below, and let's get on with this video. I'm not going to do this in any particular order except the first one, which is probably my favorite eyeshadow palette that I own. So this is the Dream Street palette by Colorpop with collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and this is what the inside looks like. So this is my favorite palette, but it's not my most used palette. This is just so like yummy to me. I just love this color story. I'm really into like cool and warm tones together, and I love that Kathleen did this super navy blue teal right next to this like delicious warm orange. I just think they play so well together. And Colourpop eyeshadow palettes are really good. Some of them can be a little iffy, but for the most part they're great, and I have no issues with any of these shades. This is the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes right now. I literally only used this color, and this color. This is just a really bomb palette if you're into cool and warm tones, because it's just so pretty and the shimmers are great and the mattes have really good payoff. So I'm going to swatch some of my favorite shades for you. So it's definitely this teal, the coral, this midnight color, oh my god, and this top corner right here. You can see just right there how yummy they are. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to do just a little swatch. So these are the swatches. I kind of did them totally upside down, but you can tell they're just so pigmented and so pretty for such affordable eyeshadows. And yeah, that is my favorite eyeshadow palette in case you were ever wondering. So now I'm doing them in no particular order. This isn't by favorite to least favorite. I'm just grabbing them as the pile next to me. But this palette, this is the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope palette. I freaking adore this palette. First of all, the packaging is so stunning. Like, this is just so cool to me. They don't sell this anymore, but I think you can still find it at places like TJ Maxx, Nordstrom. So this is the inside of the palette, very colorful. So I love the layout of this palette, and usually personally this would freak me out. Like, they have, I think it's Too Faced that made that one palette recently, and it's like all the shades are like slanted, and I hate it. It like literally like disturbs me, the layout of that palette. But I feel like because so much is going on in the background, this doesn't bother me. And I also love Kristen Leanne so much. But this is her palette. I especially love it for this black shade right here. It's called 13th Floor. It is the blackest black eyeshadow ever to exist in my collection. And believe it or not, you can make a whole look just using this palette. You just have to be creative. But a favorite way to use this palette is to incorporate it with some neutral shades and like do a pop of green. These blues are amazing, and yeah, this is just such a good palette. I'm gonna swatch my favorite shades, which is this orange, the two blues of course, and I'll swatch the green for you. So you can see, oh, do you see this? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Let me swatch this correctly. Oh, Urban Decay, man. Okay, that was like on my pinky, kind of like stupidly. These are the shades. Oh, all four of them together though. Oh my god, I might have to do a look using these four colors because, oh, they are so good. And I love that this is a matte and this is a shimmer. And obviously the shimmers are going to swatch better, but it don't even look like it's a chalky matte. Like, it's such a creamy formula, and the glow and the such a yummy palette. Next up, I have two palettes from BH Cosmetics that are pretty much the same, just different color families, and these are the Hangin' in Hawaii palette and the Love in London palette. These are like little travel themed eyeshadow palettes. That's why I'm putting them together, because I only use them for one reason. and that is the foils and shimmers in these two palettes are literally so breathtaking that you just need to buy them strictly for the shimmers. The mattes suck, like they really do suck, but the shimmers, oh my god. This one is the Hangin' in Hawaii palette. Super cute color family. Pinks and oranges, and these shimmers, so many shimmers, so good. This pink, this matte pink is very good. I do use the mattes, it's just the deep ones that like do not show up on the eye. This is the Love in London, super cool toned, quite the opposite of the Hangin' in Hawaii palette. That's why I think it's worth it to just get both, because they are so similar, but they have just the complete opposite color family. Okay, I'm gonna swatch the Hangin' in Hawaii palette shimmers first, because these are the ones I use the most. And these shimmers are what I use on all my prom clients because they're just that good. So this is what they look like on my finger. It doesn't seem like anything special, but like, I'll show you. Swatched. Oh, they are just gorgeous. I'm going to swatch some shimmers from the Love in London palette. The super cool toned vibe. These are the shades, you can tell. This one right here is such a pretty like bridal color. Ugh. I mean, come on. These are the shimmers in that palette. Do you see the top two? It's just like putting straight metallic, yummy like foil on your eye. That's what these shimmers look like. Next up we have the Alomar Cosmetics Reina del... I'm gonna butcher this name, so I'm not even gonna try to say it. But this is the Volume 1 eyeshadow palette. They do have a second one, but this is the first palette, and when you open it up, it opens up sideways, which is really cool and different. And this is what the inside looks like. So beautiful, like this is stunning. And the color family, again, cool and warm vibes, you know, you got the blue and the orange, just such a good vibe. But this is the palette. I know it looks like a very simple palette. There's only 8 shades, but the amount of looks that you can do with these shades all together, like, it's a very versatile palette, believe it or not. So these top 4 are all shimmers, and they say to use them wet. There's like a little water droplet, and they are so beautiful. I've used this top corner as a highlight, and it was like so good. So this is a little like zoomed in because I know this can be kind of distracting from holding it here, but this is the color family and I just love it. So I'm going to swatch this whole palette for you guys because I just want to show you how beautiful it is. So the top 4 are shimmers, and this is what they look like. Oh my god, I keep messing up on my pinky ones. Alright, I'm gonna do that again just because I'm not getting enough pressure on my pinky, but this is the shimmers. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the mattes for you guys. This orange, it's so good. So these are the mattes right, and this is them swatched. Love, love, love. This is one of those palettes where I feel like you really get creative because it's not in a lot of people's comfort zone to pair orange and yellow or orange and blue together, or use like a rustic-y color with like a greenish shade. So that's why I love this palette, and it's by Alomar Cosmetics. And not to toot my own horn, but I recently got added to their PR list, which I'm super excited about. So whenever I end up getting stuff sent to me, I will for sure make a video about it, which is just, it's so exciting. It is such a huge milestone for me. So I only have a couple more palettes left, and the next one I'm going to be talking about is this gorgeous one right here. Just the packaging alone, it's like you need it. Like, you just need this. It literally looks like a clutch you would take to like a dance or something, or to like prom. Like, this is my clutch. But no, this is the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette in collaboration with Desi and Katie. who are like my two favorite people to watch and follow. I love them, and I love them even more together. That's why when this collection came out, I literally bought the entire collection. Like, it's so good. I'm wearing Fuego highlighter on my face right now because I just love it. It's so good. Okay, let me actually show you the palette. So this is the palette right here. I know that the reflection can get a little distracting, but this is the palette. They made this for girls like going on girl trips or vacations, and this is like all you would need, and I totally think that's like the vibe of this because you have such good neutrals right here, and you have a basic shimmer lid, but then you have these super fun pops of glitter color, and it's such a fun palette. Even though it doesn't look as like poppin' as it is, like looking at it, it's like okay, but like when you put this on your eyes, it's like okay bitch, like okay. I super am into this palette. It's so good. This shade right here, this like chocolatey warm shade, so good. And of course this blue glitter that like kind of reflects purple in certain lightings, so good. This also is a very standout shade. It is called Just a Kiss, and it's like this glitter formula where if you just kind of tap it, it's just kind of like glitter, but if you were to use like a wet brush, it'll like pick up all that pigment and look like one single shade. And I just think that's such a unique formula because this is great to just tap 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 a little bit of glitter and shine right in the middle. Literally just a kiss of glitter. That's like perfect name for it. I'm gonna do some swatches. I'm gonna swatch this yummy chocolatey brown. I'm gonna swatch the blue Reflect. I'm gonna swatch this greenish yellow shade, and I will swatch Just a Kiss. Alright, so these are the shades. Do you see these two glitters? Like, it's so pretty. Wow, 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 wow. This is what they look like swatched. These two glitter shades and the way they reflect, it's so pretty. I've never seen an eyeshadow color quite like this one right here. It's called Dirty Money, and it's such a good name for it. If you are interested in that palette, I do have a full video dedicated to this whole collection that they came out with, so just look back on my channel and go watch it. Okay, so my next two palettes are kind of obvious ones. The first one being the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill palette, the classic, amazing, everything you need in your life palette. This is it. This is what the inside looks like. Now, let me tell you a little story. My ass got this literally the day it launched. Like the first time this was ever released, the first time she talked about it and it was like being sold, I was like the first batch of people to get it because I hopped on Morphe and got it. So I've had this for quite some time, and I've given it a lot of love, as you can see. This is just the perfect palette. This, I would say, is my most used palette. Like I said, the Dream Street is my favorite palette, but this is for sure. So as I was saying, the Dream Street palette is my favorite palette, but the Jaclyn Hill palette is definitely my most used palette. Just everything you would ever need in pretty much any look ever, aside from like super colorful, is literally right here. This is the most amazing neutral palette ever, plus these fun pops of colors. I never really use these because I love color shades from like other palettes. I kind of forget that they're here because I just focus on these like yummy, warm, neutral shades, and this is just a staple palette. Honestly, if you need any palette in your life, if you can only have one eyeshadow palette, it has to be this because it's just so good, and the formula is it's like the perfect palette, I'm telling you. But I'm gonna swatch this yummy burnt orange. I'll swatch the teal because it's gorgeous. Yeah, her shimmers are gorgeous, and then I'll do one more matte, and I'll do this green because it's so yummy. So these are from the Jaclyn Hill palette. what of all that palette, my ass picked up orange and like a blue teal. Like what? Okay, that was like, all right. My pinky is just, it's just not working, but what did I just do? So these are the shades. You get the vibe. It's a great palette. Don't let those swatches like conceive you, because it freaking is bomb and everybody needs a Jaclyn Hill palette in their life. So the next one again is by Morphe, and it is the James Charles Artistry palette that came out this past year. This is of course what the inside looks like. So my thing with this palette is I love it. I use it so much more often than I thought I would, but I don't know. I have honestly never used any of like these shades. Like from here to here to here, like minus the red, because obviously I use that all the time. Never really dip into these neutrals. I strictly only use like the colorful colors. And although this palette is so beautiful, some of the mattes just don't do it for me. I love this palette. I use it a lot. I think it's worth it because it's only like, what, like 40 bucks, 35 bucks. It's totally worth it, but it's a very like, you need to work with it palette. It don't work for you. It kind of works against you, and you just gotta like make it work. Long story short, I had this girl who wanted a blue makeup look for prom, which I was super excited about because most girls come in for like neutrals, which is also fine. But when I have someone that sits down and is like, I want full-on color, it is like a dream come true. So got my handy dandy James Charles palette out, and I was using all these blues like together. And when I tell you, like, it just would not stick to her eyeball. It got to the point where I had to wipe off all her makeup. I was like so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, this girl is probably like, can you even do makeup? Like, you just spent 20 minutes on it and now you're wiping it off. But yeah, some of the colors just are tricky to work with. Like the blues, they would pack on so pretty and the color was so pretty. And the minute you took a blending brush, it was like, goodbye, I'm not here anymore. So that's my one complaint. I'm gonna start using it more, like the neutral colors more. I don't know, I just feel like these colors like don't need to be here. Like I wish they would have just made this palette into this size, because this thing is big. Like if you look at with the Jaclyn Hill palette, like there is so much more, like this is just so much more bigger, and I wish they kind of took out a lot of what I feel like those unnecessary shades are, because I'm not gonna pull out this huge palette to use neutrals. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, no shade to the palette, because like I said, I use it all the time, but it's just like, it didn't need to be this, like this. I don't know, that's just, maybe I'm being too harsh, but that's that. So I'm gonna swatch some shades from the James Charles palette that I love. This blue is my absolute fave. It's like, it's a shimmer, so it works. The red is stunning. Like the formula of the red is bomb. What else? I love this palette. There's so much to look at. I love the pink. Pink works really great. A little bit chalky. A little chalky. And I also love this like deep color pink, so I'm gonna swatch those for you. These are what they look like. Super cute, super cute. And this is how they swatch. Do you see that red shade? It's just, it's stunning. If you ever wanted a red eyeshadow palette, just buy it for that, because the red is really good. Okay, so last and certainly not least is the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag eyeshadow palette. This is probably my second favorite eyeshadow palette of all time, because it just holds such a good place in my heart and I love it so much and I use it all the time. So this is Manny MUA's brand. I absolutely love Manny. I never didn't love him. I love him. He makes me so happy. His personality is amazing, and I just love his views on makeup. So this is what the inside looks like. It reminds me of the James Charles palette, because just smaller, just kind of what, like, this is just like all you need. Like the James Charles palette is like excessive, but Manny was like, nah, this is all you need. Here's your like heaven of like eyeshadow palettes. So mine has been through some shit. I used this so much when I did all my Halloween makeups before the James Charles palette came out. That would have like saved my ass so many times, the James Charles. But no, I took a beat into this baby, and I kind of want a new one. It's totally okay, but like, it's been beat up. But this is just one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes because I love this color family. Like the fact that it's literally half neutrals and half color, it's genius. Like I just love everything about this palette. The formula is amazing. I have no issues with any of these colors. None of them dusting away. They all blend so good. They all like work well with each other. They like blend into each other. If you were to use yellow and pink together, it would literally blend itself into an orange, which is like super cool. I have not one bad thing to say about this palette other than like, if you don't have it, why the hell not? Because you need it. I love this. This just like is my right hand. It's so good for like anything. I feel like I'm not even explaining myself, but like I don't need to because it speaks for itself. So you know I'm gonna swatch both these metallics because like you're kidding. And I'm gonna swatch the pink and Kiki because Kiki, it's such a unique color. So these are the swatches. And oh my god, these pinky ones are like going through it. So this is them swatched. Super cute. Love it. I love it so much. So if you take anything from this video, know that you need the Jaclyn Hill palette, the Dream Street palette, and Life's a Drag. Because they're just so good. Okay guys, that is all of my favorite eyeshadow palettes at the moment. They are all amazing and great in their own way, and I highly recommend every single one I talked about. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do this with like other stuff. Like, do you want to talk about my favorite lipsticks, my favorite face products, stuff like that. I feel like I can make this like a little mini series on my channel because it's really fun talking about products you love. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe and follow my social media down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.